Got a camera to have a look at today. It appears like it's been for a swim in the sea, and it's got lots of stuff rattling around inside it, which I guess is corrosion. So we'll take it apart and have a look in there. It's a Sony NEX-FS700. So it's an interchangeable lens camera. You see it's got some business going on there. And yeah, it's very sticky. Looks like some kind of storage thing goes on there. I don't know, because I never used one of these. Oh, there's a USB port. There's an input 1. Oh yeah, that's microphones and audio. Another one there. Then there's component out, AV out. There's an HDMI. There's a remote and an earphones. Then there's a 3G HD SDI. There's a battery in there, but yeah, it's equally crostified. Oh, the battery release thing is there. Yeah, that's stuck. Then various controls. ND filters. Oh, is that what that thing is in there? I can't move it, it's completely stuck. No, it's on clear at the moment, and it looks like it's going to stay like that. Okay. I'm going to have to wash everything after this because it's so juicy. Well, it's just sticky. Okay, some pretty long screws holding the handle part on. Okay. Oh yeah, we haven't even looked at the top yet. It's got a screen that pops up. Look at the crust build up on that. It seems to have delaminated the screen from the pressure of the corrosion growing on it. And then there's various controls there, audio levels, power, all the other good stuff. Yeah, hopefully none of these screws have rusted up too much that we can't undo them. That would be disappointing. Well, I guess we could just snap things off if it comes to that, because it doesn't really matter at this point, because I'm guessing all the boards inside will be completely corroded, so there's probably no point in trying to turn it on. But we'll have a look once we get some covers off and decide. It says it's a Super 35 CMOS. I guess that's the same size as that F5 camera we looked at the other time recently. That screw's a bit stiff. Is there something under there? Oh, double-sided tape was stuck on there. Oh, that screw seems like it's lost the thing it screws into. That tape must be to stop it from falling out then. Not really sure why. Does that mean this top part lifts off? Maybe some other things have to come off first before that. Maybe that thing. Some kind of cable guide thing, I guess. Yeah. Oops. Wow. Oops, some piece snapped off. Oh, look at that. Stuff's growing on there. Wow. See the very fine wires there coming off the LCD screen. And then the screws under there are very fluffed. And they still undo though. Not that one. Oh yeah. It's just the head is easy to round out. Guess we can take the screen off. What is that? Oh, it's a lock to stop the screen from moving. Okay. Also, we have to work out how to unplug that wire. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any recovering this. The plug is completely corroded. Okay, so that's just a bolt that pushes onto that disc thing which turns around with the screen. That's how you lock it in place. I wonder if we should try open the screen up, see what's going on inside it. Okay. Oh, there's a circlip thing. Oh, that's going to be tricky to undo. I don't have the right tools. It's all full of stuff. Look at that, that's seen better days, hasn't it? It's a bit more than a bit of rain touching it, isn't it? It's definitely like it's been for a swim. We'll just undo all the screws and see what happens. There's something magnetic. Ah, here. There's a little magnet in that part of the bottom edge of the screen, so it must have had a hall sensor somewhere on this so it knows which way around the screen is. Shame there won't be anything recoverable from this because it's all messy and corroded and rusted. Oh, that's bulging out. I think it's swollen up inside and popped the screw mounting ridge thing out of the casing. That screw is half out, but also jammed. There's a proper amount of mounting hole thingies on the bottom. Big ones and the normal, or more common smaller ones. I'm not sure what's holding that. Yeah, it's all small screws. Number 0. Yeah, that's wrecked. That's not going to come out. Oh, there's a DC in connector. Oh, it's a weird one. It's not the normal yellow round Sony one. That's annoying. Look at that. It's all full of crust. Lots of crust. I wonder what was supposed to come off. Were we supposed to take other things off before that thing? Because it's just... I guess so, because we ripped a little wire out which was inaccessible. I guess we've done it in the wrong order. The screws in the back of here have rusted so much, can't undo them easily. Lots of dust falling out of it. Corrosion dust. There's it's a memory stick and SD card, or SD card. Yeah, that screw in there is wrecked. It's just too rusted that it's like rounded out. Long screws on that. Alright, I think we've got most of the screws out. All the ones that we're going to be able to get out. Time for this stuff to come apart. Something's holding it there. I don't know what's holding that there. Maybe those screws there are really long. No, I was thinking maybe they went the whole way through and this whole plate thing would come off. Or maybe there's more screws down here that we can't see anymore. Oh yeah, look, there's one there. That one's gonna strip, unfortunately. No, got it. Ooh. That one's gonna strip. Nope. That's the power of JIS, isn't it? You can hold up the screwdriver by the screw. It just locks in super good. That thing does move. Look, there's some screws under there. And more fluff. Alright, I'm gonna have to come back later. There's other stuff I have to do right now. This has been delayed already by several days because of things going on. There must still be things to undo somewhere. Alright, we'll leave it there and I'll come back a little bit later on and we'll continue. Hopefully we'll find a way into this thing. I went to Vibe Night for a bit since that was on today, and that was really good. Good music. That's over. Now we're going to carry on taking a look in this camera. Very fluffy, dirty camera. To see what's going on. And why doesn't that thing come off? There must be something that I've forgotten to do. Oh, that's one piece. And that piece there doesn't seem to come off. Now maybe we should take some of this lens mount. It says a lens release button. E mount. Take this off and we'll see what happens after that. There's quite a big brackety thing there. Must be for mounting handles and grips and bits and pieces onto it. And maybe a follow focus controller thing. There you go, an E mount. There is a screw under there. I thought it would take this part off, but it does expose these screws here. Yeah, maybe that's not the way in. Maybe this stuff can come off. Oh look, there's another screw there. That will let this microphone socket come out. Maybe. Get the angle right. Oh, I guess that thing is going to be really well fixed, so this stuff here will have to slide off straight because it's going to have to pull off from around there. Oh, look at that. When that thing is lifted up... Oh look, that screw that was stuck is undone now. Good, it just ripped out. So that's a key thing because there's a bunch of screws underneath here. Should have realized that earlier. And then there's clips. Look at that, it's opening. Controls on the side, all sticky, rusted, corroded. Oh look, that ND filter thing. So that pushes on that. Look at that. It's fully crustified. No wonder it doesn't move. Oh, and even though I cleaned up the bench, it's already dirty again. Yeah, I was thinking this is going to need a new piece of stuff down after this. Oh, look at that. I think that's all heat sinking for the image sensor. The image sensor is right there. There's no lens in here because this is a removable lens type camera and there is no lens on it. So yeah, that's all image sensor business. Pretty solid beast. Oh yeah, and most of this is battery. See how deep the battery hole is? So there isn't any actual stuff in there. It's all in this middle section. Yeah, the battery it comes with is quite a small one. Whoa! More crust. Super crustified. Okay, so that's the other side controls. Real crusty in there. We should take the switches out and have a look at them. Or the keypad or whatever that thing is. Membrane thing. I thought the outside of this was going to be magnesium alloy stuff, but it seems to be just the internals. Okay. Okay, there's some buttons and a little rotary encoder thing. Yeah, they're just corroded. But there's some toggle switches there. White balance and gain settings. They still feel good. They might be sealed. A lot of PCB parts are sealed because they get flux washed off. Or ultrasonic washing LCD panel. Okay. Just wondering if we can get the front off of the LCD screen. Wow, so much dust is coming out. Have we got all the screws? I think so. Look at that, it's broken the glass. The swelling has broken the glass. The backlight. So there's no frame. There's a raw LCD squished in there. Interesting. Usually there's a metal surround. But it's just the backlight part is just clipped on with those 4 little clips around the edge. It's got touch as well. Resistive touch, I guess. The 4 wires there. Pretty sure that's touch. There'll be a separate sheet that you can peel off the top. I really want to get glass in my fingers. Oh yeah, that's right. There was one more screw there that cannot be undone. Unfortunately, because it's just rusted so much, the screw head just ground away when I tried to undo it. So that's the one that goes to there, right where there's a lot of rust. So the only way of getting that out will be just rip it out. I think there's more screws somewhere in this bit. Yeah, we'll need to get that thing off, but I don't understand what's holding that. Nothing's holding it. There you go, now we can get to that. So there's a nice little coax coming off the back of the SDI connector, going down to there somewhere. Okay, will that come off? Starting to. Some ribbon cables need to undo. Oh, is there something under there? No, it's just an XLR plug. With lots of fluff growing on it. Is it an HDMI? Oh, that stayed there. HDMI is on its own little board, probably so you can replace it when it gets smashed. And the SDI is also on its own board. Well, it's its own bracket. Okay, that must come off now. There's still a screw somewhere. Oh, there's one right there. Ah yeah, that was previously covered by that back housing thing. Oh, is that a screw? Not anymore if it was. There's nothing in there. It's just completely hollow. Down in there. That's just empty. Where's the stuff then? That's weird. The screws going into this die cast type stuff is very ruined. So how do we get the image sensor part off? Oh, there's tape covering the screws. That's interesting. Is that a plan to stop them from corroding? Stop the screws from corroding? I think once this housing is separated, then it will release the image sensor part, because it's got clips there and on the other side. Screw there. Doesn't look very promising how crusted up it is. Good. And there's one here. No, that's wrecked. Nope, that one ain't coming off. Unfortunately, that one's not coming off. Yeah, that's a shame. It's needed to come off as well, because it's holding it together. Well, let's just start prying it from this side then. I'm guessing that was a screw at one point, but or was it in there? Okay, that's good. That one rips open. Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? There's a screw there, which is also wrecked, I think. There's no way that one's coming off either. That's a shame. It's stopping this thing from coming apart. Oh, that finally opened. Yeah, just that piece had to lift up to untrap that. The control panel. And this plastic sheet. It's firing, it's crust everywhere. Oh. I need to hose down this area after this. Sorry, I'm not being very kind to this thing. Oh, is there another screw under there? There's some tape. No, I think it's just tape for the fun of tape. Get to release this. Yeah, the problem is because the screws don't undo on the other side. It's a bit wrecked. Just snap that clip off. That's good, that's come off. There's something there that's holding it. It's playing hard to get because we have to snap some screws off. I don't have any kind of grinding thing. Ideally we just get in there and grind the heads off of that one there and that one there. I don't know, maybe I should drill them out. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? But I've got to find a drill. There is a drill somewhere around here. And would that do it? So then the head would just snap off. I think this is probably because there's too many pegs and other things holding it. So it's not just the screw head itself, there's other bits that it's being aligned with. Ah, look, we can pull out this guts though. Board in there. Oh, I think it's just a plastic spacer. There's that cable there, which is wrecked, and then there's a connector there that it comes off the image sensor. There's two of them, and that's all that's holding it in at the moment, is that cable, one each side, coming from the image sensor. I wonder if we can pull it out that end, that side. Nope. There we go. And the other one, just yoink it out. Well, it's all corroded anyway. It doesn't matter if it gets a little bit destroyed. Okay, so that's it for the electronics. All of that is a battery housing. So the only electronics in this camera is that stuff there in there. That's really weird. I thought this would have a lot of boards in it. Apparently not. Must have some hard out CPU thing or processing thing on just this one board then. Let's see if we can get this open. Another rusted up screw though. Yeah, it's not going to undo, unfortunately. No, I think this part needs to come off first. Then we can get to some screws to undo the rest of it. One problem is that screw in the battery housing that we couldn't get off. And now the screw there from the SD card thing, which is also goes onto that one from the battery housing. So all the screws that can't be undone are sort of ganging up on each other to make it difficult, because they're blocking access to that one down there now, which we need to undo. Okay, there's cables coming off from the battery and the DC input. Oh look, now we can just bend it out. And then there's that, would that go to the SD card and memory stick holder. Now we can get to some more screws to open up the circuit boards. I wonder if that one from before will undo now that I've wobbled it around a bit, but I think the head is too wrecked. Yeah, unfortunately the head is too wrecked for that. Okay, look at that. There's some thermal transferring material, which has gone all sort of dried out. And then there's a bunch of ICs there. Another fully rusted out screw. At least it can undo. So what's on the bottom of this? See, there's some more cables. There must be another layer. Oh, look at that. Another thermal thing. The copper heat spreader. Oh, there's that fire? Is that burnt? I don't know, it's just very black, or is that just corrosion? Wondering if maybe something burned, because salt water would have shorted it out, I guess. Well, create a reaction at least. It does look kind of burnt. It might just be a reaction. It's definitely munted. Guess that's the SDI chip. Little wire comes out, goes to that connector, goes to the SDI connector. Yeah, it's fully corroded around the power supply ICs. Those are definitely power supply things. There's all the inductors and stuff on that side. So I guess there was some shorting out action going on. Cooking stuff. There's a heat spreader. These are sort of fused on. There's another really rusted screw there. There's one there. So I'm not sure about getting this thing off, unfortunately. And the screw head still exists under the rust. It's not undoing though. Okay, so that's a copper plate. Quite heavy. And now there's a metal plate, and there's another board. And where did the... Okay, so that's where the image sensor plugged into those. So I wonder what this is. It's just extra stuff, I guess. Probably things going on the other side. Not a huge amount. It's just some kind of signal routing thing. Okay, well there's that. I think they were deep enough into that thing. Now the image sensor part. I was so very surprised that the thing was mostly hollow. I didn't expect that. Thought it would be full of stuff. Apparently not. Hopefully I haven't wrecked my screwdriver. So many really tough to undo screws. Okay, I think I might have loosened that a bit. Yes, look at that. By twisting it so much, we're able to get that screw undone. Great. Look at that. Now there's another one there that should release this front part. Not quite. There's another one that's holding a... Yeah, that screw doesn't undo. Oh well. We'll just have to bend it off. Or maybe we can get to it by these. Look at that, here we go. Got down to the image sensor. So, the wires going to it, nice high quality cables, wires, whatever. Yeah, that's not coming undone. Is there one at the other end? Under that tape, maybe? No. Oh, they were out on the sides, there and there. Alright, look at that. Oh no, look at that. It's squidged over. Does that mean it's been like that the whole time? Like that seal thing bent over. Big image sensor. There's a screw under there. I'm trying to release it from this frame. It's probably part heat sinking, isn't it? I don't think it's supposed to come out of this anyway because it's glued onto one of these. Oh, it's de-gluing now. Final bit. Here we go, the grand finale. How is that thing connected onto the image sensor? I think it's like BGA stuff under there. Look at that. A bit dirty. So there's your Super 35 image sensor. It got off relatively unscathed, but yeah, even the board on the back's wrecked. And probably these connectors too. Oh, they seem to be alright. Other end is ruined, all crustified. Have a look at this one. Not bad. Other end. Fully crustified. That burnt a pin there. Maybe. I suppose we should take this thing apart. There'll be a filter turret in there. Did I forget a screw? How'd you know? It's so full of crud. Could be anything under there. I think something is forgotten. Yeah, there. It's so crustified you can't tell. That is buried in the dust. Oh, we're still not even in though. Okay, well that's... Oh, okay. That there is the lever. Look at that, that drives that, which swings to turn the filters around. Oh, that's interesting. What an interesting mechanism to bring it over the across the image sensor, or around the image sensor. Oh, look at that, there you go. There's your ND filters. And that's why it doesn't turn, because that crud was on it. ND filters. Look at that. Progressively ND. You can see that thing reflecting through it. More and more ND. And then the clear one, which is bright. And then less bright, least bright. Great! There you go. Pretty interesting look inside a fairly end-of-life camera. Well, prematurely end-of-life camera. Sony NEX-FS700. Gone for a swim, filled up with corrosion and dust and rust. Interesting to see what's inside one though. Very little electronics, surprisingly, and quite a lot of empty space. That whole thing was empty. Great.